Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7, already on 7 of In the Know with Mr. O. We're going to talk about just the human condition, the human environment, so to speak, today. Oftentimes in leadership, you feel like you need to kind of impose will. Even when you're a teacher, you want control. You want to kind of make sure things go well, right? It's always with the positive and best of intentions. But sometimes that kind of control and making things try to go your way can lead to an inability to listen. You kind of look at it through your own perception and don't really see what the problem is at hand, whether it's in your classroom and students are struggling with a specific part of the content, or whether it's a specific problem that you're trying to pay attention to that somebody's trying to convey. And what I think is the best piece of advice that you could have hearing anything from this episode is a lot of times people just want to be heard. Parents want to be heard, students want to be heard. A lot of people want to be heard. And if they come to you with a problem, most of the time just expressing that problem to you is really enough of what needs to be done. Recently, I had a student stop me in the hallway and say, Mr. O, I need to talk to you about a previous situation that happened and things like this. And all the student was really trying to do was not act on the emotions that he was feeling that led him to be angry, right? Because if the student bottled it up and didn't tell you or try to talk to you about it, what would end up happening there is that student might engage in a fight, might engage in taking action into their own hands. And they were really doing the mature thing and showing a lot of trust and value in you by coming to you and letting you know, hey, I really care about you and care about me enough to let you know what my problem is and want to be heard. And maybe you can give me some advice. Maybe you could look into the problem. Maybe you could find a solution for me that actually works. And that's what I did with this situation. We kind of heard the student out, was able to do some investigative research behind it, realized that it was just a lot of, as high schoolers do, talking and wasn't really coming from the source that he had a previous issue from. And learning through that, there was an ability for the student then to realize not only was the situation false and it was just kind of rumor mill going around, but that you were there for them and you heard them. And then that allows that trust to deepen. And it opened up an even bigger conversation of how I said how proud of him I was, and that how proud I was that he came to me to speak about this and not act on it like he had acted on before that got him in a little bit of trouble. And it's the same thing with teachers. It's the same thing with everybody else. If they're coming to you with the problem, you need to listen. And if you listen to the problem, then you can come up with a solution that works best. And that really is the control that you could have, even if you don't think it, because then you can think about the problem, figure out where it is, and then what skill set you have to be able to solve the problem and look at it from that 10,000 foot view that might give you the proper answer. So just remember, people want to be heard. You can still have the control. It just looks in a different way, right? Even if you're a teacher to a student, really be open-minded. Listen and think about a way to properly solve the problem, and always try to give the benefit of the doubt. And I think that you're going to find that a lot more positive results will come from that, and you'll see the change that you really want to see, other than being strict, stringent, and trying to enforce your will on something. So as always, please reach out to my contact information if you have any questions. If you want to go over anything, have a conversation, have a consultation, anything of the like. And remember that, being there for one another is the most, important thing that we can do for one another. Please like, comment, subscribe on this video and on this YouTube channel. And as always, tune in for another episode of In the Know with Mr. O. I appreciate you all. Take care.